everybody, it's Ricardo, and I am back on our Comic-Con stage with Ames Kirshen from the WB. And Ames, you brought us something very appropriate for Comic-Con, haven't you?
Yep, we're here to show off our Batman Brave and the Bold game, which is coming out this September on the Wii and the DS.
Right.
Developer is Way Forward. If anybody's familiar with the show, all your fans I'm sure are familiar with the show, the Comic-Con crowd and the GameSpot crowd. The show is on Cartoon Network, from WB Animation produces the show. It is a celebration of kind of old school Saturday morning fun superhero, where Batman teams up with another DC hero every week in a very action-packed episode, and it ranges from stuff from, in mainstream DC Universe locations like Gotham City, all the way to kind of wacky outer space adventures, and really celebrates the fun nature of the Batman universe and all the different heroes and depth that the DC universe has to offer.
Well, let's dive in.
All right, so what we're going to show you today is this is a level in Gotham City where you are Batman and you play, and also as Robin. Now, this is a co-op game, drop in and drop out co-op anytime. So I am going to be Robin, and Nathan, my associate producer, is going to be Batman.
And just to be clear, you can do any mix of a number of different people. It's not just Batman and Robin.
That's correct. Every level has Batman and another hero that's specifically designed for that level.
Just like the show.
Just like the show, exactly. So if he's in space, it makes sense that Guy Gardner, the Green Lantern, is going to be in that level with him. There's another level that features Batman and Blue Beetle on Science Island. And then we have our level in London with a hero yet to be revealed as a playable character.
Maybe we could guess if we read books.
Maybe.
Who knows?
So what you're seeing here is a little cinematic opening up.
There's a cat and it's dressed like Robin.
There's a cat and it's dressed like Robin. It was Robin. So what happens here is Catman, who is a little bit lesser known Batman villain, but very popular in the DC comic The Secret Six, has stolen a magic rare gem from the museum that turns human beings into cats. And what he's doing is he's turning all the inhabitants of Gotham City into cats so he can loot the city. So what he did is he turned Robin into a cat, and Batman had to take him back to the Batcave and find a cure. So now you've done that, Robin's cured, and now you have to go take care of Cat. So you traced him down in the Gotham Zoo, and you got to take him out.
So you just picked up a power-up. What is that for?
So yeah, and the game is tried and true, just like the show. It's literally tried and true, old school retro fun. It's a 2D game, side-scrolling beat 'em up traversal. A lot of gadgets at your disposal, all mapped to the D-pad. You unlock them as you go throughout the game. Things like Batman's Bat Grapple, the Batarang, smoke pellets, and they're all upgradable as you go too.
Very nice.
So you have health power-ups, you have mana power-ups. You need your mana to be able to use your gadgets. So you can't just spam the buttons. You really got to think about the strategy in which you want to do to use the Batman gadgets. So here you see our little in-game cinematic.
All done in the style of the cartoon.
All done in the style of the cartoon, and actually our cinematics, which bridge the levels, all were done by Warner Brothers Animation, featuring 5 minutes of never-before-seen exclusive animation in the style of the show, exactly like the show with the show actors. That's exclusive to the game.
Very cool. And then, one thing I guess we should be clear on too, it's like, you were talking about how it celebrates Batman.
Yes.
And this celebrates like a side of Batman we haven't seen in a while, because it's gone a little dark, let's be honest.
Yeah, no. That's the really nice thing, because I produce all the DC games at Warner Brothers, and Arkham Asylum was one of my games, and that is the quintessential, uber Batman game, to me, one of the truest interpretations of the character ever. But it is very dark and moody, and it's a very hard kind of teen-rated game. Maybe not for the under 10 crowd. I have a 7-year-old son. I know certainly he gets scared at certain parts of Arkham. This game is perfect for the families, perfect for the younger crowd, but also it's going to appeal to the older Batman fan as well, because there's a lot of DC goodness in here.
And let's be clear, you are now a cat and you are scratching his face.
So yeah, Catman in this boss fight turns Batman and Robin into cats. Now you use that to your advantage by jumping up on these ledges and taking out Catman and scratching his eyes out. And it's, like I said, it's good fun. It's things you normally couldn't do in a dark, gritty Batman game, and it's really nice. Batman's such a diverse property. It's so rich that for us at Warner Brothers to be able to expose him in two different ends of the spectrum, with a darker game like Arkham, or edgier game like Arkham, to this more cartoony, fun game, pick up and play for the family, is really fantastic, and we're really happy to bring this.
Like a werecat. This is an awfully big cat, is what I'm saying.
So yeah, so Catman has these cat minions that he turns into cat beasts, and then this is kind of like his uber werecat that he now jumps on the back of. And classic tried and true boss gameplay mechanics. We have to get Catman off. You see Nathan just knocked him out off of the the cat piece. The cat piece is now going to transform back to his normal cutesy self.
Oh.
And all is right in the world of Gotham City.
Maybe next time.
Nicely done. Now, as far as the game's story goes,
Yep.
you're mentioning how these levels are set in different places with different characters. Is it one big story arc, or are they self-contained like episodes?
No, just like the format of the show, they're individual episodes. So we have 4 levels, 4 different locations. They're each their own little story.
Is there connective tissue? Because Catwoman looks like she just kind of screwed up the level here.
Well, yeah, that was a little bit of a red herring, is that Catwoman was working with Catman.
Makes sense.
And, obviously the cat-themed bosses are working together. So, it's really nice because there's a nice, rich depthness in terms of the DC characters that we have in the game. The 4 other playable characters with Batman. We have jump-in heroes, which are kind of, think about it as Uber smart bombs. So you get into a pinch, and there's a lot of guys on screen, and
oh, nice.
So here, before each level, you select a jump-in hero, and each of them has their own unique ability, and that's themed to that character. So you can see here, we have Black Canary, Booster Gold, Black Lightning, and Hal Jordan Green Lantern, who's my favorite. Obviously, we've got the movie coming out featuring Hal Jordan.
I am also a fan.
Well, obviously, the shirt is rocking. Big props for that. So before each level, each player can choose their own jump-in hero. So what you're seeing here is our exclusive cutscenes done by Warner Brothers Animation, done in Korea to the animation of exactly the animation of the show. We've got all the show voice actors voicing their characters in the game. And here is our space level where Batman is bringing Mongol in. He's captured Mongol. He's bringing him into Oa to be put away in the science cells, which is kind of the Oa prison. And you'll see madness ensues as Guy Gardner loses his temper as he normally does, and breaks Mongol out of the casing.
Yeah, Guy's not really even-tempered.
Guy has got some issues.
He does.
He's really got to control his anger. He's got to learn patience. I think he could learn a thing or two from Hal Jordan. But that's what part of the appeal of Guy is. Like, Guy's a loose cannon. Guy acts, he doesn't think. And that makes him a really fun video game camera. And actually the voiceover for Guy Gardner, done by James Arnold Taylor from the show, is some of the best in the game.
Now, you've got the voice actors, you've got art. Do you have the writers as well helping with the game?
Actually, yes. Michael Jelnick, who's one of the main writers and producers on the show, helped us write our story in addition to our game designer, Adam Tierney, at Way Forward. Really great collaboration between us and Warner Brothers Animation, both on the animation side, the reference side, but as well as helping us craft the story and making it true and authentic, because that's really what we wanted to do here. Is like, this game, we wanted it to be an extension of the show, not just a game based on the show. And in talking to, actually we ran to Sam Register last night, and I think they were thrilled with the results that we've seen thus far and the reception we've gotten on this game.
Did he just release a bunch of Starros on Oa?
Yeah, so what happened was in losing his cool and fighting Mongol in the middle of the science cells, he broke out Starro, who's a famous DC villain, and Starro had a bunch of little Starros that spawned out of him, and now you've got to go back, you've got to go to this planet, a mysterious planet called Koragar, which I'm not going to give it away, but if your fans know, has some significance in the DC universe, and if you play the game, you'll see why, if you don't know, and you've got to track down the Starros and bring them back to Oa.
Interesting. Now, you kind of mentioned his Batman's gadgets. We saw some.
Yep.
Right? We're seeing his little backpack and whatnot.
Yep, and as you can see here also, as I said, each hero that you play as also has their own unique. So obviously, Guy Gardner, Green Lantern Ring, Power of the Green Lantern Ring, you can switch between various constructs of the Green Lantern Ring. So here I can actually do a cage. So I can actually use my Wii remote
Nicely done,
and
sir.
cage, so you have enough mana, and cage an enemy, and then I can just pound them. Also, then I have, this one is my favorite, it's actually a fist that you control with the Wiimote, that you can actually use the IR to punch or grab the enemies.
Now, why are we collecting money?
So, we're collecting Bat Coins because you're going to be able to, between the levels or between stages, go back to the Batcave and buy upgrades to your Bat gadgets. And who doesn't like picking up coins during the game? I mean, quite frankly.
It's kind of expected.
It's kind of expected, right?
We need money.
But it's highly addicting, I have to say. It's something that's also in the DS game, and it's just super addicting. So you can see here, Batman's got a kind of jetpack. That's another upgrade. And we're traversing through this alien environment, fighting, capturing the Starros, collecting coins.
Now, can Guy fly?
What's that?
Can Guy fly?
Guy can hover.
Hover.
Since we're kind of 2D side-scrolling gameplay, he doesn't fly per se, but he's hovering, keep up with Batman. So what I'm going to do here is what I showed you before with the jumping heroes. If I get into a pinch, so I'm going to call in Hal Jordan,
Nice.
shake my Wii remote to charge him up,
Nice.
and he's going to do an impressive screen clearing blast, and he's going to jump out, and then there's a cooldown period. Oh, and now see here, Nathan's doing his with Black Lightning.
I was going to ask.
And then also, as you're building up your combo meter, you can supercharge your powers. So Batman does a big, impressive kind of screen clearing move himself as you're charging your powers as you're going through the game and comboing and leveling up.
And so, do these jump-in heroes, are they essentially smart bombs that have the same effect, or do they do different things?
They all kind of do the same effect, but it's really character specific in terms of what the cool kind of visual aesthetic is. But you really have to be you have to be cognizant of how you're charging it, because if you only do it halfway, you're not going to get as impressive a smart bomb clear. It may only clear one enemy or two as opposed to being 5. So here's our little reveal.
Oh, look!
It turns out the Starros gravitated to the planet Korugar, which in the DC lore is the homeworld of Sinestro. So in the Brave and the Bold show, Sinestro started out as a member of the Green Lantern Corps and then ultimately went rogue, as he does in the Green Lantern comics. And you can see here he's having a little confrontation with Guy Gardner, who calls him a traitor to the Corps. But ultimately what we find here, it's really just a cameo. Sinestro's really not behind this, just so happens it's on his planet, but guys still don't like him.
Yeah, these two together, it's not going to be a good conversation.
It is not peanut butter and jelly, for sure.
It's more like oil and water.
Totally. But it's really fun because we've got a lot of little cameos and little Easter eggs that are, nods to DC stuff all over the game in every single level. Dozens of DC characters between the boss fights, the jump-in heroes, the playable heroes. I should talk a little bit about the DS as well. I don't want to leave the DS because the DS is a fantastic game. Also, it's got its own set of heroes, a very similar type of gameplay, but heroes that are unique to the DS game. Aquaman, everybody's favorite, is playable in the DS game. We've got Green Arrow.
So who's got Blue Beetle?
They both have Blue Beetle.
All right.
They both have. Oh, and then also the really cool thing that everybody seems to love about the show is Bat Knight. So the little imp from the 4th dimension, who's a big super fan of Batman, comes right out of Comic-Con, so to speak, is actually a character in our game that if you have the DS and the Wii version, you can connect the two, and you can actually control Bat Knight on the screen on the Wii, and you can do one of two things. If you want to help your friend, you can drop health packs and mana packs. Or if you want to be a nuisance and screw up their gameplay, he can drop anvils and bombs and really screw with you. It's a lot of fun. It's really a pretty innovative thing that a lot of people have done between Wii and DS games, and people who have seen it just absolutely love it.
So as far as the co-op stuff, it's couch co-op, right?
It's couch co-op, no online.
Oh, looky there.
So there, Green Lantern superpower, he turned into a golem and took out these enemy pirates that we've got here. You can see here we've got a little statue of Sinestro in the background. Lots of little nods to DC fiction and fandom.
Nicely done. All right. And those drones they look like Starro, but they're not, right?
They're not, no. They're just kind of the alien defense of Korugar. They're not necessarily working for the Starros. They're just kind of there to get in your way, help you, help you have fun as you're traversing through the environments.
All right, well then we're going to wrap it up because we want to leave everybody at home wanting, because clearly there's something at the end here that could be a big thing. So
there's a lot of good things that the players will have to wait and see.
We're not going to ruin it.
We're not going to ruin it here at Comic-Con, but like I said, the game comes out first week of September. Wii and DS from Way Forward, and definitely want everybody to check it out.
Well,
very different Batman experience.
It looks really cool, very old school.
Yep, old school retro. Yep,
all right.
Just like the show.
Well, thanks much, sir.
All right, appreciate it. Thank you for having me.
All right, well, that's Brave and the Bold. You know when to look for it. Now we're going to Homer, who's once again getting up to some mischief on the show floor.